It is a room that a lot of organizations have meetings in. Workshops are held here. Guest speakers will be held here. It is reservable as well for students and for organizations. So it's like just like the library, you just fill out the Google form and you can reserve this space at any time. We also offer cable television for students who come in here and just need to relax, need the AC on a hot day. In the back is the patio, which you probably have walked through already. It is shared between the WRC and ourselves. It's also reservable. It holds a lot more people, so we like to have really large events out there. It's super awesome. And people like to eat out there, socialize also. All right,
So just kind of like a precursor to Ambria's presentation, I'm really excited that you all get to come see this space. I think something that we're really working on, in particularly these two spaces, is building visibility, right? A lot of times, a lot of students don't know this resource center exists, so we're really looking for people like you who have direct connection with new students and prospective students, that you really point out the amazing things that we do in these spaces. So what Ambria's going to do is she's going to kind of tell you what the Pride Center's purpose is and what specific resources that we offer in the space. Yeah, so go ahead.
Awesome. So founding Pride at San Diego State. So the Pride Center at San Diego State University creates, sustains, strengthens an open, inclusive, safe, and affirming gathering space and campus environment for persons of all sexual and gender identities and their allies. So basically, we're a safe space for students. We're also here to educate the campus because some people have not really been a part of the LGBT community, have never faced it before, and that's what we're here to do. So what do we do here? We hold a lot of events. Some of our larger events include National Coming Out Week, which we had in October. I actually helped coordinate a lot of the events. We had 1 event, 2 events per day, used to bring awareness to coming out as a process. People who wouldn't otherwise think about it. We do HIV testing here every month. We have Trans Talk, which is a closed space for trans students to come and to talk and to heal. We have our Trans Day of Remembrance, which is happening tomorrow, actually. We'll be meeting here at 6:15 and marching down to the Union. We'll be lowering the trans flag in remembrance to a lot of the people that we have lost this year in the community. There'll be a lot of performances and speakers there as well. Every spring semester, we hold our Spring Cotillion, which is a huge queer dance that we hold here. It's typically held in Montezuma Hall with a little DJ, music. There's always a theme going on. It's really awesome. And then our largest event in the fall semester is Thursdays of Drag, which is an Aztec night for anybody who did go. We have big names like Chad Michaels there, and it's super big. We had like 1,000+ people attend this year, which is the largest we've ever had. And then we have PCA programs that we have here, like Maisha holds Sip and Sex, which meets once a month. It's a queer and sex positive space. Just going over, it's being able to talk about your sex life and things related to sex. Community beforehand. We have internships with the LGBT Studies program requires for students. A lot of students go to Safe Zone, which is a program that I'll talk about later as well. And then we also have Lavender Graduation, which is a graduation specifically for LGBTQ students to graduate as a separate sort of program.
And part of next semester, students will also be able to intern specifically in this space as well. So we'll be hiring on like 5 interns from this particular program to act as kind of what Ambria does as a student assistant.
We do have an LGBTQ liaison in career services, so that person is specifically there to help students figure out what to put on documents when they're hiring or applying for places and helping them for workplace related, if there's incidents or just things to help them in the workplace as an LGBT student. We work with Cal Poly with counseling and psychological services, so they do offer individual counseling and an LGBTQ support group. Most, if not all, of the counselors there are Safe Zone Ally certified, so they do have some knowledge on how to help LGBTQ students with any crises that they have going on in their life. We also have STD and HIV testing that happen both here and at Cal Poly and PrEP consultations. We also offer hormone treatment, which is a really big breakthrough, especially for this campus. And for this community in general, because hormones, if you don't know, are really hard to acquire as a trans person. You have to go to psych evaluations, get a bunch of doctor's notes for it, and it's a lot easier for students who aren't out to their family just to come to campus to get those. Awesome. And then we went over the gender neutral restrooms. That map is available. Christopher will send that out. Residence halls such as Zura have them as well. Because it's remodeled, we have like 1 to 3 gender neutral restrooms on each floor in Zura, which is really awesome considering the Pride House is located there. And the Pride House is a residential learning community for LGBT identified students. We go through, I used to live there, so we used to have a seminar program that still goes on now. But it's just like the commuter program class that they take. It's to help them get into the community here on campus, campus life, and the LGBT community on campus, because a lot of them might not have had that in the past.
Going back to gender neutral restrooms real quick, does everybody know the difference between like a single stall restroom and a multi-stall restroom? Yeah? Okay.
We also have the preferred name change process here at the registrar office, which is really important for students who are trans and are trying to change their name and use their proper name in the system. They can go to registrar and actually get that changed in Blackboard, so when they register for classes, that's the name that the professor will see. So Safe Zones is a program and an organization that we have here on campus. It was formed when homophobic incidences were happening here at SDSU, so this program was created to help educate the campus. They offer Safe Zones 101 trainings and Safe Zones Ally trainings. The next trainings for 101 will be in February and April, as well as the Ally trainings. You can sign up online for those.
So the difference between those two trainings, the 101 is exactly what it kind of sounds like. It's like all the terminology, the language, kind of really building a base knowledge of these communities. And the Ally training is a lot more interactive, and it's a lot more about kind of having the verbiage and the conversation skills to help students that may be in crisis and dealing with the issues that this particular community goes through. So they're 2 very different trainings. We suggest taking the 101 first, but you can also go ahead and take the Ally training if you want. And what we're doing with the Ally training is we're building safe individuals, right? So we give out a pen, we give out a sticker, and that kind of identifies you on campus as someone who is able to have those interactions, able to have those conversations with queer identified people on campus. Cool. They happen twice every semester. Fall usually fills up really fast, so if anybody's interested in participating in any of those trainings, now's kind of the time to like start signing up. You have all the information on your PowerPoints that are in front of you if you're interested.
Awesome. So they also are available for internships. LGBT studies requires an internship, and a lot of students go there. They do 120 to 90-hour internships. A lot of it's tabling and going and programming for events. Events that they do hold include the National Coming Out Day panel that they held, if anybody went to that. It was going over unrecognized and misrepresented, underrepresented sexualities and gender identities. That was a huge panel they held with a lot of people who showed up. And they also helped coordinate Lavender graduation. The person who runs all of this is Professor Caleb. If anybody has ever interacted with her, taking any of her classes. She's also the director to the LGBT Studies internships. And the SDSU is also home to a lot of LGBT-based organizations. The ones I have here include the Queer Student Union, which is the largest LGBT-based organization. It is a social group that meets up every Thursday here in this space. They just go over community things, getting together and just talking about different subjects every week. We have major-specific organizations such as Out in Business for queer business majors, Out in STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, mathematics, Outreach, which is the LGBT social work majors, and then we have ally queer-based or queer ally organizations such as Mecha and Ancha, which are activist organizations, and WOA, which is the Women's Athletes Association. We have QPOC, which is the Queer People of Color Coalition. It's a healing space and a closed space for queer people of color to meet up. And then we have two Greek life organizations, which is Gamma Rho Lambda, which is the queer and ally-based sorority, and then DLP, Delta Lambda Phi, which is the queer and ally-based fraternity. Awesome. And this is all of our information. Christopher's info card is already on your packets, but this is also just the front desk number and the email that we can get back to you anytime.
So I know that's a lot of information really, really fast, but we wanted to make sure that we highlight everything that we do in this space. We're so glad that you all kind of came because you had such a close connection to new students. Please, if you ever have any questions, specifically for this community or the Resource Center, please reach out. If you ever come in contact with a student that needs the support, definitely give our information out. Cool. Does anybody have any questions about the space, about the events, about anything to do with the queer community?
So earlier you mentioned 17 gender-neutral restrooms on campus, and then this PowerPoint said 10, so is it 10 or 17?
It's 10 on campus, 7 within the union, so it's 17 in total on campus.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then we have 4 in construction with the tentative date of opening spring 2017.
At the beginning, I missed how the space started.
Oh yeah, so we were founded in spring 2014. We were requesting students to have a safe space for LGBT students, so the space was created for that.
Can you talk a little bit more about, I know you introduced yourself with your preferred gender pronoun. Can you just talk a little bit more about the purpose behind that? Because I know it's been something that, obviously I want the ambassadors to be aware about. They do come in contact with the student.
Cool. Yeah, so here at the Pride Center, we've trained ourselves to constantly be asking that question, what are your pronouns, right? What are pronouns?
He, she,
What are some, do you all know any gender neutral pronouns? They, them, theirs, right? So what we do at the Pride Center is we never assume gender, right? So when I meet you, I'm going to say, hi, my name is Christopher, my pronouns are he and his, what's your name and pronouns, right? So that's kind of automatic because we never want to assume gender when anybody walks through the space. How frequently does that happen outside of the Pride Center though? Not very frequently, right? But we want to normalize that. We want to make sure that people outside of the space are utilizing that language and having conversations like that. So you all meet new people every day, right? So it's good that you add this to kind of your conversation at the beginning and doing something as simple as saying that. My name is so-and-so, my pronouns are whatever it is. What do you think it means to someone to use the right pronoun?
Respectful.
It's respectful.
Welcoming.
Welcoming. Absolutely. All those things, right? What happens if you use the wrong pronoun? Yeah. Yeah, we're not giving them the proper respect that they deserve, right? So, let's do a quick little exercise if we have the time. I want you to turn to your neighbor, and I want you to introduce yourself, and I want you to tell them your gender pronouns. Alright, so now switch it up a little bit. Now I want you to ask for their gender pronouns. What are some suggestions on asking gender pronouns? Say yours first, which we talked about. What else? What are your pronouns? What pronouns do you use?
She or her.
Okay. Was that awkward? Totally. Right? But is it necessary? Yeah. Right? So getting over that awkwardness, it'll always be there. It'll always be there, right? But if we normalize it, it becomes a little bit easier. So turn to the person next to you and ask them their pronoun.
I think it's very
Cool. All right. right, not too hard, right? Super simple. Does anybody have any questions about that process though?